Beyond the Mic with Sean Dillon.
We're joined on the star line by a travel industry veteran who's worked at hotels, ski resorts, and on board the ships of major cruise lines. Her first book, All Over the Map, 2 Lovers, 6 Continents, and a Date with Destiny, is out now. We welcome Tanya Zaufi.
Hi, thanks for having me. I appreciate the time.
Let's go beyond the mic. Tanya, you've always enjoyed travel. As a youth, you were accepted into a 2-year travel consultant program at the Grant MacEwan Community College in Edmonton. What did your time as part of that program teach you?
Well, that program definitely confirmed my love of travel. But it was interesting. It kind of lets you see the inside of all these different countries and then some cultural things as well, and just some ins and outs of the travel industry as well. So I always feel like by myself taking the travel consultant program, it kind of propelled me towards my destiny.
10 years as part of cruise ships. What was your first job on the cruise ship, and what was your last job?
I started working on Princess Cruises, was my first cruise ship that I had ever worked on, and I was hired as a junior assistant purser, which is guest services. Then from there, I went to work on Renaissance Cruises, which was over in Europe and in the Mediterranean. And I actually ended up doing night auditing on that cruise ship, was something different I had never done. And the last cruise ship I worked on was Disney Cruises. And I worked in the office as well. And my last position on there was working in the crew office.
Plenty of places to travel. Where are some of the places you've traveled?
Oh, I've been fortunate to been able to travel to many different places with working on the cruise lines. It was essentially like paid travel. So I do feel fortunate that that gave me the opportunity to travel. I first went to Puerto Rico, and in the Caribbean, St. Thomas, Grenada. We went to Venezuela, and then we also went up to Alaska and did the Panama Canal. I also was over in France with Renaissance Cruises, and we did Portugal, Gibraltar, Malta, Greece, Turkey, Cyprus, Israel, Egypt. So many amazing places that I was able to travel with a cruise ship.
How did you feel leaving home and your family, supporting your adventures, but you're missing holidays and birthdays, but yet making great friends and meeting people?
My family was always very supportive of any of my endeavors and adventures that I did, which I was very thankful for. Yes, I did when I first went on Princess Cruises. That was my first Christmas that I was away from home. And while at the same time you have moments of, oh, I'm sad I'm going to be away from home, you have all these great friendships. And at that time is when I'd met Joseph, who is now my better half on the cruise ship. And the bond that you have together, you're literally in the same ship together, in the same boat. So you're just there together and enjoying the moment. And then you know that there is an end, and your contract mine was about 6.5 months, and that you're going to go home after that. And it was all these amazing memories that I have for it. So I was thankful that I did take the leap of faith and go and take the job opportunity on the cruise ship.
The book is All Over the Map, 2 Lovers, 6 Continents, and a Date with Destiny. And the author, Tanya Zaufi, joins us beyond the mic. And then you met him. Talk about the love of your life and how a ship safety drill changed your lives.
Yeah, I first joined Princess Cruises, and it was my very first day ever working on a cruise ship. And our supervisor told us, go get your uniforms on, get your life jacket on, and go to the lifeboat drill on deck 7. So I went up to the lifeboat drill with my cabin mate, and we were there, had my life jacket on, and I see him from across the room, and that was my love at first sight moment. And that is now, it took us a long time to get there over the course of 8 years, but my husband of 13 years. So it really was the love boat. It was a magical time.
Now, first it was an introduction, then time at the staff bar, then going out on expeditions. How fast did both of you fall in love?
It was almost in the beginning, you know, he knew me and I knew him type of a thing. But then slowly, you know, there's many people on the ship and other people there was a girl in the book where I was like, oh, I could see her flirting with him, and you know, she was attracted to him, and so you know, you just try not to think of those things and have the jealousy or that sort of a thing. But no, we came through for me and Joseph, and the time that we spent on the cruise ship, it just kind of brings you that much closer, because we would try to spend any of our time that we could. There's a lot of work. You work a lot on the cruise ship, and so then we would match up our ashore time when we're in port, and we would go, you know, to the beautiful beaches or go scuba diving and go on these adventures together and make the memories that we were. So it just kind of brings you that much closer. And it felt like I knew him much longer than I did after we got off the cruise ship, because we're together 24/7. And it's kind of living a fantasy life and living the dream. But then, you know, once you get to land life, it's different, and then reality sets in.
Tanya, you were from Canada. He was from Austria.
That's right.
When you separated, how tough was it for you?
You know, there was times when it was really hard because that's a far distance. It's 2 continents, and it wasn't just easy to go see him. There has to be an itinerary and luggage and details. So, but we would always stay in contact as much as we can. But then when we would see each other, there was times I didn't see him for 2 years. But when we did see each other, really, I guess we lived in the moment most of the time, and, you know, just enjoyed the time that we did have together and made it the quality time. And then just tried to work together so that we would be able to eventually live in the same place, and for him to move to Canada and where we live now.
2 years, a long-distance relationship. You kept a long-distance relationship for 2 years?
Yes, more than once with him. I didn't see, that wasn't always the plan. After we got off the cruise ship, he moved to Canada, and he bought a one-way ticket, and he was coming to Canada, but he was here only for 8 days, and we went on a camping trip, and he got in an accident, and he ended up breaking his jaw. So that kind of changed the course of our life, and it eventually sent him home. He only stayed in Canada for 30 days. So then after that, we thought he would come back sooner than he did, but he couldn't. And then just, you know, things and work and job and money and everything comes into play. And so, it was 2 years I didn't see him. And he eventually flew me to Austria so I could go see his homeland for the first time, and took me to Venice for my birthday. And, you know, we were kind of living the bubble life, the fantasy life again, but enjoying each other's time. But it was 2 years.
What's the biggest misconception of the travel industry?
People think you get a day off. There is no day off. You work every single day. And you work hard. Like I said, it really matters on the position that you do. I worked, as I said, in the front office, and I worked 56 hours a week, approximately. And Joseph, who was a pastry chef, he worked about an average of 100 hours a week. And that's a huge difference. I mean, however, he did get paid a lot more than I did. But the misconception definitely is that you must get a day off. It's not. You go. You kind of work hard and you play hard. And then by the time your contract is done, you're tired. Like I did 6.5 months. I was tired. I was ready to go home. I didn't want to leave my friends or Joseph, of course, but our plans was he was coming to Canada. So then it was okay. But you're just tired at the end of your contract for sure.
So the after hours parties, the drinking, the hookups, those are all true.
Well, some of them are true, yes. I mean, people do like to go to the crew bar and let loose, and you're kind of all in the same area and, you know, living the same life you are. And that's the meeting point. You meet and mingle in the crew area. So, yes, lots of people form relationships or not, but and they always have different things going on for crew to kind of keep their morale up, whether it's game night or disco night or karaoke night. It's always something going on for the crew, just kind of to keep it going. So there's lots of different things, and you meet not just a partner relationship, but also for your friends. You meet some great friends. I have some wonderful friends that I've met and am in contact still to this day. So it's an interesting bond that you do form on the ship.
Tanya, why was writing this book so important to you?
I never originally set out to write a book. I ended up first writing a letter. I was watching Ellen DeGeneres, and she had inspiring stories on, and I was, my husband inspires me, and I'm going to write a letter to Ellen DeGeneres. So I started to write a letter that I never sent, and it morphed into my book. It's interesting, but I'm proud that I did write the book and that we have our story, because it is quite the story. Like it's not just travel. It's about the long distance relationships and kind of believing in yourself and that true love is out there. So, it can be a story that can inspire many different people.
With the problems with COVID-19 pandemic, how is watching the cruise industry suffer?
Yeah, it's definitely hard, and it's sad to see, and but hopefully in time, whenever people can travel again, it's just kind of giving the people the opportunity to kind of maybe explore a little bit more of maybe where they want to go and what they want to do, so that when we all are able to travel again, that people will be booking cruises and will go on and it will carry on. But definitely it is hard, and hard to imagine what everybody is going through, and the people that work on the ships and such, and the companies. And yes, because it's definitely not something fun at all.
Tanya, time is running out, so it's time for the Rocking Aid. 8 random questions. Answer with the first thing that comes to your mind. There is no pressure.
Okay.
Best boat you were ever on and why?
Well, Princess Cruises, because of my love at first sight moment.
Favorite and least favorite place to travel to?
Santorini. Love it. It's everything I imagined. My least favorite was probably LaGuardia in Venezuela, just because to see any of Venezuela, we had to get out of the port. That would be my only reason why.
What's your favorite dessert?
Favorite dessert is Mississippi mud pie. It's also called Sex in the Pan.
Now, with your husband being a pastry chef, he had to have made you something incredible.
Oh my gosh, yes, he does. And actually, funny enough that you're saying that, just on the weekend, he was doing some Christmas baking and doing some pastries, and oh my goodness. He does make extravagant desserts. I was going to say creme brulee, but then I quickly in my mind changed my thought.
Best place on the boat that few people know about?
Oh, that few people know of? Oh my gosh. There's one, what deck was it? At the stern of the boat where me and Joseph would go, and it was just a quiet place. But so I mean, the passengers wouldn't know of that, and it was just a quiet place we would watch the sail away from.
What island do you consider a hidden gem?
Grenada. It is. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. The beaches, and it's such calm water, and the spice in the air of Spice Island. It's beautiful.
What's your guilty pleasure on board?
I can't even think of something. You know what? I have never been a passenger on a cruise ship. I've only worked on it. We could order off the menu when we were working with Princess Cruises, so I would say shrimp, scampi or something. Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Favorite item to cozy up with? And you can't say your husband.
My book, no. A glass of wine.
Best holiday tradition from your family is?
Best holiday tradition? Well, for Christmas dinner, we do fondue, which is an Austrian tradition. Because I'm in Canada, and normally it would be turkey. So I love that tradition. And if we're talking something outside the house, it would be the Krampus St. Nicholas tradition in Austria.
Her favorite cruise ship was with Princess Cruises. She loves Mississippi mud pie and met the love of her life on a cruise ship. A letter to Ellen turned into All Over the Map. 2 lovers, 6 continents, and a date with destiny. Author Tanya Zaufi, thanks for taking the time to talk with us today.
That was amazing.
And that, my friends, is Beyond the Mic.